Hey everyone, welcome to this session about how you can accelerate your application modernization efforts with off-the-shelf commercial products from AWS Marketplace. I'm Casey Lee. I'm a Principal Product Manager at AWS Marketplace. And joining me today is Anthony Andreades, who's the Head of Global Infrastructure Strategy at Schneider Electric. So in today's session, we'll mostly hear from Anthony about Schneider's experience with modernizing their application portfolio and how they found a commercial product from AWS Marketplace that helped them with their efforts. But before we get started with that, I'm going to give you an overview of the AWS Marketplace, and then we'll end with some key takeaways in a short video showing you how the Marketplace works. So what is the AWS Marketplace? It's a growing digital software catalog of over 8,000 product listings from over 1,600 software vendors. The software is easy to procure and easy to deploy into your AWS environment. There's a wide variety of flexible consumption-based and contract-based pricing models. And it simplifies billing because you get all of your software charges on the AWS bill without having to onboard vendors one by one. So the container marketplace is a subset of products on the AWS Marketplace that are packaged as containers. There's over 390 of these products curated and available on the AWS Marketplace. Most of these products are free, and all of the ones that are paid, over 80, are available with pay-as-you-go pricing. The images are hosted on AWS and on ECR, and the repositories are scanned on a regular basis for security vulnerabilities. Here's a snapshot of the broad selection available on AWS Marketplace for containers. There's everything that ranges from infrastructure products that help you with your container environment, such as networking products, storage, and security, to data analytics and business applications that are built on the container architecture and take advantage of the parallel processing offered by that architecture. Now I'm going to hand it off to Anthony, who'll tell you more about Schneider's experience with application modernization and the marketplace.
Thanks, Casey, for the introduction. Really happy to be here today to talk to all of you about our vision and our strategy for democratizing cost management on Kubernetes and microservice-based applications using Amazon Marketplace to deliver that functionality. So here at Schneider, we've been moving in a direction to modernize our infrastructure and the way that we host applications, using a combination of Kubernetes with container-based workloads and Amazon Cloud and Platform as a Service. But before I delve into the technical details, a little bit about the company I work for, that I'm proud to work for. We provide sustainable digital solutions for clean energy and for software-based management solutions to deliver cleaner energy as well globally. We have a good distribution of business around the globe, around the planet. You know, we have a presence in all 4 regions, all corners of the globe, and we have a good presence as well in assisting new and emerging economies. So we do our best globally, and I think that from a technology standpoint, I try to do my bit behind the scenes on making sure that we deliver the company's mission. So as I mentioned before, we have several thousand applications on server operating systems at the moment at Schneider that we're looking to modernize using a combination of Kubernetes microservices and cloud platform as a service services. So some of the typical use cases could be replatforming web or middleware elements of applications that are currently running on-premise on server hosting, on infrastructure as a service at the end of the day. We're looking to transform that to a more liberal, a more streamlined and elastic approach, So, and obviously, one of the benefits of using containers in combination with cloud-based platform as a service is that, at the end of the day, as a consumer, it's far easier for me and far quicker for me to get that application out to market. It's, at the end of the day, I work for a digital company, and, digital IT is already in my DNA, and the three elements for me of digital DNA are cloud, democratic microservices, and DevOps and automation as well. So how are we doing this? Well, at the moment, we have, I believe, 3 clusters with one soon to come in Asia Pacific, basically built on top of Amazon EC2, that's running Kubernetes on top, and then Kubernetes is underneath Rancher. We have full integration from an identity management perspective with our on-premise Active Directory and single sign-on, allowing us to segregate, secure authentication and authorization, basically, for our environment, for our customer base and our users. So essentially, the integration with Rancher on top of Kubernetes allows us to really optimize how we manage microservice-based projects, and integrating them with Active Directory allows us to segregate who can do what within what project. So we already have a really robust architecture around facilitating how people come and collaborate and work with us in a very, very secure and well-architected manner in terms of getting the most out of Kubernetes as an application and hosting deployment mechanism for modern applications. So obviously, one of the things we're constantly looking to improve it. We're constantly looking to bolt things on, from anything such as Istio or a mesh management technology to a continuous deployment, a CI/CD capability and technology that we're going to look to bolt on the side. And basically, one of the things that we thought and that we believed could improve ever so slightly, granted, the lives of our development gangs were the fact that they could optimize around the containers and the amount of infrastructure that they were using, because we have a showback and a chargeback mechanism, where at the end of the day we charge these people back proportionately for how much compute they use under the hood. So for us, we said, well, wouldn't it be cool and wouldn't it be really useful if we democratized the chargeback and the showback and basically allow those developers to manage their own costs and optimize their own costs? So that was pretty much what started us looking outside into the wider marketplace for solutions that delivered that kind of capability. So, as I've mentioned, we went looking for that technology, and basically we assessed a whole bunch of technologies that didn't really fit the use case in the beginning. Some of them did some of the cost management, some of them did some of the showback, some of them did a mix of cost management and CI/CD. And at the end of the day, it was very clear for us that what we wanted was just a straightforward way of allowing the lines of businesses to manage their costs very, very simply via a single pane of glass, via a single UI, where they could just essentially reference what we were charging them back for using our infrastructure against what they were running, right? So yeah, we're pretty pleased. The end result it's precisely what we wanted to deliver, and we're already getting value from it, in the early stages before it goes fully live. So yeah, as the slide shows, we decided on Kubecost. Kubecost, at the end of the day, focuses on cost transparency. It's native to Kubernetes at the end of the day, so focuses very much on the key capabilities that we wanted to give our business partners at the end of the day, which was the ability to go into one place, centralized costs versus centralized metrics. So we did a proof of concept. There was a couple of elements to that. Obviously, one element was making sure that we could segregate in the same way that we segregate our environments using Rancher. We wanted to also segregate the costs for customers. Additionally, we also wanted to make sure that any kind of additional cost concepts that we're using with the Kubernetes architecture. So for example, in some cases, we might use Amazon's EFS service, Elastic File System, for the persistent volumes. Or S3, for example, for storage. So it was important for us that we were able to essentially tag and manage and make sure that all of those cost concepts were presented and managed in a single pane of glass. And again, really happy with the results, and it's been a worthwhile exercise going in that direction. Here's a snapshot of what Kubecost looks like. It's very, very visual and very, very simple. I mean, you want to go in there, you want to know what's efficient, what's not efficient. You can generate reports based on, I think, from not literally the minute or the second, but you can go by the hour, you can go by the day, by the week, the month. It'll make recommendations on where you're more wasteful and what kind of actions you need to perform to become a bit more efficient from a cost perspective. So it's really easy to use. I mean, you've got that menu up there on the left-hand side. You've got cost allocation per namespace at the end of the day. And for those of you that know Rancher, know the Rancher product, Rancher allows you to group Kubernetes namespaces inside projects, and the projects are the things that basically you segregate your users via an identity management system against, right? So it's very, very, I mean, it fits into our architecture really nicely, so customer A can go in, to Kubecost, review his costs for all of his namespaces, and customer B can do the same, and never the twain will meet. They don't have to see each other's cost. They don't need to know what the other customer's doing. It's, completely siloed, completely segregated, democratic but private, the way it should be handled, right? As I mentioned before, this is a screenshot regarding abandoned workloads. So this is another, to the point, it's able to show you what's wasteful from a performance perspective. It allows you to tailor additionally, your Kubernetes quotas a bit more effectively. And at the end of the day, the paradigm around moving, for us at least, and I think for maybe the majority of you guys watching the video as well, the main paradigm about moving away from one application, one server, that whole story is based on not only modernization, which I focused on at the beginning of the conversation, but it's also focused on cost. It's focused on cost management. It's the difference of one application, one server versus 50 applications, one server, when you start to aggregate these workloads, on like an industrial scale using these container orchestration systems, which is the main reason why they're so globally adopted by a lot of the main tech players, right, at the end of the day. So how do we deploy this? At the end of the day, for us, it was a bolt-on. We worked with the Kubecost guys directly, right the way through deployment. the deployment was Helm based at the end of the day. So the actual purchasing and procurement, which is permitted on our side, was simplified a lot by the fact that we could just basically contract the service with an applicable, with agreeable service terms with Kubecost, and basically onboard them really rapidly. Because with technology like this, it's changing so rapidly that you need to demark a line in the sand before you make that step. Because if you just procrastinate and you don't move, and you go from one tool to possibly 5 that do the same job, right? So it was really important for us to continue evolving, and Marketplace kind of facilitated the velocity around that in a really positive manner. So in terms of what did we achieve, not to sound big-headed, but we achieved basically what we set out to achieve, which was we wanted to put cost management in the hands of our customers. We wanted to make them, conjointly responsible and accountable for their costs on our infrastructure to basically, deliver the result that we're running technology, we're running a platform and infrastructure in the most optimized manner possible from a cost perspective, So, and the points that you see on the screen, democratizing services, democratizing technology, that is a digital approach, right? It's not kind of the old paradigm where you've got somebody asking you for an Excel spreadsheet or whatever. There's no value in that. You need to empower your customer base. You need to empower the creative people at your company, And additionally, the last, the middle point, accurate real-time transparency, I alluded to before. Basically, this tool is able to map what you're spending from a container perspective to the live billing API on the Amazon side, so that you have that marriage between APIs that gives you that level of close control. So on this slide, I think I'll hand back to KC. Thanks for sticking with me. It's been lovely talking to you all. So, and I hope you're enjoying all of the other presentations that you're watching. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Anthony, for your time. You heard from Anthony today about Schneider's experience with modernizing their application portfolio. I'm going to summarize now with a few takeaways from this session, and then we're going to go to a video about the marketplace. So, first thing is, when you're moving to containers, there's a lot of day 2 operations to consider. That includes things like setting up CI/CD pipelines, monitoring, and what's also really important is getting cost visibility and setting up cost governance. One of the ways you can accelerate your time to impact is to look at off-the-shelf commercial products that might meet the needs of your use case. There's over 380 of these products available on the AWS Marketplace, packaged as containers that can be deployed into your environment. We heard about how Schneider picked one of these products, Kubecost, to drive cost transparency, which ended up giving autonomy to the line of business teams that use their Kubernetes as a service. They purchased Kubecost through Marketplace, which saved weeks of time not having to onboard the vendor to your billing systems. Now we're going to go and watch a video of how the AWS Marketplace works. So here I'm at the AWS Marketplace homepage, where you can browse for various solutions ranging from security, infrastructure, business applications, etc. As you can see down here, there's categories of different products by use case. You can also search, so in this case, I'm going to enter Kubernetes cost to look for Kubernetes cost solutions. You see that Kubecost, which we just talked about today, is on this list. I can also use filters to filter by whether these solutions are packaged as SaaS or containers. So now I'm going to click into Kubecost to learn a little bit more about the solution. Up here there's an overview of what Kubecost is. There are some details I can look at around pricing. I see that there's a pay-as-you-go rate per hour for running this instance of Kubecost for $3.42 an hour. I can also commit to a longer-term contract that may save me some money if I know that I'm going to be using the solution. Now I'm going to continue to subscribe to the product. So I've already pre-subscribed for this video, and here on this page I can review more of the pricing details and also configure how many instances I want to buy if I do want to buy an annual contract. So here I can select how many licenses I want to buy if I'm running multiple instances. And I can see here again the pay-as-you-go rate. So now I'm just going to continue with just the pay-as-you-go rate. I'm not going to buy a contract. I'm going to continue to configuring the launch of this software. On this page, I see what versions and options are available for this particular product. For Kubecost, I see this is the latest and only version available, so I'm just going to continue to launch. On the launch page, I see that Kubecost is actually made up of 4 container images, and the vendor has provided a Helm chart that simplifies and automates the deployment of those images. If I click on usage instructions, I see a page where the vendor has provided instructions about how to install this software that are specific to AWS Marketplace. Looking at this page, it seems like there's 3 steps. So the first 2 steps are to create an IAM role with the permissions to call AWS Marketplace metering and licensing APIs. What this role does is authenticates and provides your identity to the software so that we can identify that it is you launching the software and bill you appropriately. Once you've created the IAM role, you simply provide the IAM role through the Helm chart, and you use the Helm chart to install the software with one command as shown in that code snippet there. So that's end-to-end how AWS Marketplace works, from finding the solution to procuring to then launching. Please join us for the other AWS Marketplace sessions that are going throughout this reInvent time. There are sessions about how you can use machine learning models from the marketplace, how you can use the marketplace to analyze your software spend and manage licenses across AWS accounts. And there's a lot of great sessions for you to take a look at here on the schedule slide. And I want to thank you for taking the time to join us today. Hopefully this session was useful for you and that you got some takeaways. And as a reminder for all of the sessions, please help us get better at this by completing the session survey. Thank you for your time.